All right, bro. So this is over, right?
Of course.
No more grudge.
No more.
You got me. I got you back.
Yes.
We're done.
Yes, we're done.
Okay. Cool.
See? We're done.
All right. Appreciate it. Oh, shit. I forgot the beer salt. Be right back.
Okay.
Hey, Bill, where's the beer salt? I can't find it.
Left cupboard. Always be prepared. All right.
Well, I couldn't find it, bro. What the hell is he doing?
Oh. Looks like Cujo's chasing a rabbit. That's my doggy. He's my boy.
Freaking weirdo. All right. Well, let's get going with this, man. We are down to one of our favorite movies, both of us.
Yes. Friday the 13th, Part 6. Jason Lives.
So, guys, Friday the 13th, Part 6 came out in 1986. It was directed by Tom McLaughlin. It stars as Jason, C.J. Graham, but there are a few scenes with stuntman Dan Bradley playing him. And what happened there was Dan Bradley actually got canned from the role, and they brought in C.J. Graham, and the rest is history. There has been a long-standing tradition of Jason being played by stuntmen. C.J. Graham is the first person to really not be in that business to play Jason. Somebody saw him at a function where he was doing some sort of play or something, thought he was really good and he had a great presence, and they decided to make him Jason. We have the character of Tommy Jarvis returning, this time played by Tom Matthews.
Much better actor.
Definitely better than Robert Shepard was by a long shot, in my opinion.
Yes.
They actually did want Robert Shepard back, and he declined the role. He was going to take it at first, but he decided because he didn't want to be in a movie that was so gratuitous and violence, because he was going into seminary to be a priest or something like that.
Yeah, I always heard it was personal reasons why he didn't want to do it.
And he did almost take the role because of the little girl that prays and Jason lets her go. But then I guess they just never heard back from him. And he went out into seminary and they got somebody else. And I think the series is the better for it.
Yes, much better actor.
And then finally we have Jennifer Cook playing Megan, the sheriff's daughter, who is our quote-unquote final girl. Okay, to set the stage here, our director, Mr. McLaughlin, he decided to completely ignore Part 5.
Sorta. He did try to bring back the original Tommy Jarvis actor.
That was the studio. That was not him, really. But in the storyline-wise, they completely ignore Part 5.
For good reason.
In this movie, Tommy Jarvis escapes from a mental institution. He is with a friend of his. He is determined to make sure that Jason is done. They go to Jason's grave, they dig Jason up, and he proceeds to stab him over and over again, the dead body, with a piece of wrought iron fencing. It's got this nice design on the top and all that. And the reason I mention that is because...
Actually, that was actually the bottom. Remember, he pulled it off, and the pointy part was at the top. So
yeah. He flipped it over, and on the bottom there was all this nice little, curls and iron
decorations.
And the reason I mention that is because...
Why do the dead even care about decorations?
I don't know.
Something we might not know until later.
The reason I mention it is because all of a sudden we get a bolt of lightning hit it. It hits it, it fries all that decoration stuff off the bottom,
melts it
top,
down,
whatever, and it sends an electrical surge through Jason. And then it happens again.
It's alive.
Lightning does strike twice.
In the same place.
In true Frankenstein style.
It's alive.
Jason rises from the grave. Of course, Jason goes on a brand new rampage, and this time it's up to Tommy Jarvis to stop him.
Yep.
Problem is nobody believes Tommy. They think he's a nutball.
No, nobody believes him. They want to forget all about it. Yeah, the town wanted to forget all about it. They changed the name from Camp Crystal Lake to Camp Forest Green.
And that's where we come in, guys. The geniuses at Camp Forest Green decided to reopen the camp. Which brings me to a point and an interesting fact. This is the very first Friday the 13th movie that actually shows campers during the rampage.
Children.
There are little kids in the camp, sleeping in their beds, getting ready for the next day's worth of activities.
Doing camp stuff during the day.
Yeah. This is also the first film in the Friday the 13th series to have absolutely zero nudity. There is a sex scene, but there's no nudity shown.
Exactly.
And I think part of that may have been a conscious decision because of the gratuitous nudity in the last movie.
Yeah, part 5.
Joining Mr. Henry Manfredi in the music department on this film is a legendary rock star, Mr. Alice Cooper. One of my personal favorites. He is just absolutely awesome.
Great man.
And he comes up with a great song for this movie called The Man Behind the Mask that has been almost as synonymous now with Jason and the Friday the 13th franchise as the It's almost that close to being as iconic as that.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, I'm going to be playing some of the song for you during this video.
Nice.
Let's hope I don't get another copyright claim that made me take it off. And I'm sure you're going to agree with me here, Bill, but this movie is Jason at his most brutal so far.
Yes.
He was more of a hunter, more of a, now he's the quote-unquote zombie Jason. But
the way they brought him
ranked
back,
him up. He just kills everything.
Yes. And the director is not a fan of slasher films.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you see in this one, Jason's using his hands most of the time.
He does. He uses his hands to kill a lot of people just barehanded.
And it's great.
It does make for some interesting kills, a little different than some of the other movies. Something else that I loved about this is Tom McLoughlin. He understood that this series had a certain level of camp to it.
Yeah.
And he didn't enter the project thinking, we're going to take this so serious that anybody that says anything bad is just disrespecting everything.
Serious.
And he approached this from a fun angle.
Yes.
And it worked. This movie is the only movie up to this date in the franchise that got positive reviews from critics.
And rightfully so.
It grossed pretty well. It wasn't the highest grossing one in the franchise, but I think a lot of that was because of Part 5.
Yeah.
But it did do pretty well. And it is, in a lot of people's eyes, one of the best Friday the 13th films.
Yes.
Once again, I'm not going to give my ranking, but I agree.
Okay. Another fun little fact here. The director, his wife is in this film.
Yeah, she was.
Her name is Nancy McLaughlin. And she was the woman in the Volkswagen Bug that got stabbed through the mouth.
Yeah, that was a cool kill.
Yes. And there's another fun fact about that scene before she gets stabbed. The guy that they have to play Jason was ex-military. He was a Marine, if I believe I'm getting this correct. He was a Marine. And when he jabs the fence post, still the same one that he's taken from the graveyard, through the windshield, his Marine training took over during this scene, and instead of just stabbing straight, he followed the target while he stabbed. So he almost actually stabbed her for real.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. And it was a great scene, too. I love how they're sitting there, her and her boyfriend are sitting there talking, and he's like, no, there's too many horror movies or something like that.
No, she says that she's like, I've seen too many horror films to know that a guy in a mask is not a good thing.
Exactly. And then he pulls out this teeny tiny little gun.
It looks like a 22.
A 22 revolver, maybe. I don't know. It wasn't no 38. I can guarantee you that.
No.
But I was just like, really? Really, dude?
But at this point in time, Jason has only just become zombie Jason. So the lore of him, of being an unstoppable killing machine, is not there. In fact, they were trying to forget all about it. So these people had never heard of him. So they were just looking at him like some crazy nut job in the road.
And I love how until he acquires the machete, when he does use a weapon, the weapon he uses is the iron wrought fence post that he pulled from his own body. He uses that throughout the first part of the movie. And I thought that was really cool. And then one of my favorite sequences is you got these idiotic paintballers. They're pretty much a group of business guys. They're out in the woods playing paintball. And then you got the one guy who's all, I'm hardcore, I'm a badass, you know, he's mumbling under his breath and cussing out everybody because they're all
shouldn't be able to play these games. And the woman was the one that got him.
And Jason, and this is the only scenes that Dan Bradley is playing Jason. It's when he kills the paintballers. I guess those were the first scenes that were filmed with him, or with Jason. So it was after those scenes that they got CJ Graham, but they did keep him in those scenes, so he is technically Jason in the movie.
He is.
He is a technical under the hood Jason.
Yes. So. And we got twins in this one again with the paintballers.
Were they twins?
Yes.
Oh, yes, they were twins.
They were twins.
I didn't notice.
Don't make gum again.
Oh, not really. They didn't come in riding bicycles.
Yeah, they didn't do the bicycles. Thank God. Two fat guys who are twins riding bicycles? Ugh. That would just be, no offense, but that would just be real creepy.
Dude, I'm like mesmerized by this fucking fly that's putting its ass up in the air on the machete. I don't know what the hell it's doing, but it's really funny.
I don't know either, but it is there.
Go away.
And you called me a 2-year-old.
Another pretty cool fact about this film is that the director, Mr. Tom McLaughlin, actually filmed 3 different endings. And the reason he did that was the producers were giving him a lot of shit about his preferred ending. They weren't agreeing, they weren't vibing on what was going to happen. So he filmed 3 different endings. And then he got a little bugged later on when they released it on DVD, and they only released 1 of the alternate endings.
Yes.
So, there is another ending out there, guys, that, to my knowledge, nobody's seen outside of the movie. So, guys, I guess it's time for our pros and cons, and we're going to start with our cons today because we don't have a lot of them.
Nope.
We love this movie, both of us. We absolutely love this film. It's a great movie. It's a lot like 4 and 1 and 2 and 3.
It's the movie.
2 and 3 and even 1 had cons. I'm sorry to interrupt you, brother.
That's all right.
Go ahead.
It's the movie we should have got after 4.
Definitely. Definitely should have gotten this movie after 4. And I think that might be the only inspiration they took from Part 5 was during that Tommy Jarvis dream sequence. It was him going to the grave. You know, but this, instead of 2 hillbillies digging him up, Tommy Jarvis is trying to dig him up so he can destroy him. Not just to get a look at the main man.
But I do agree with this film because you could honestly just axe out 5. And the way they began this film, just slap that one in there as Part 5 instead of 6.
Yeah, you could. So.
All right. What's your first con?
We talked about it, and I know we disagree a bit on this one, but I thought that kind of the costume of Jason was a little weird. The yellow gloves I thought were weird, and he's kind of gotten an affectionate nickname, either the hardware store Jason or the tool belt Jason. You know, people have called him different things because of that. Everything he's got is shiny and new looking. Even the clothes don't look that tattered.
But where he got the belt from was from the paintballer, the first one he killed, the hardcore one.
Yeah, I know he got his machete there, but I didn't see him with the belt off the guy.
No, that guy had a knife and everything. That's where he took it all from.
It just, I just thought it kind of didn't fit with the Jason motif, but...
I'll give you the gloves.
You know. Yeah, and the gloves were weird. The whole yellow glove thing was just weird.
Alright, I really only have one con for this movie, and it's kind of nitpicky. It's where Tommy Jarvis he's in the cell, he has that cop, and Megan points the gun at him with, holy shit, that must have been a fucking really old tech laser sight, because that thing was bigger than the gun it was on.
Yeah.
But she's pointing the gun right at his head, and Tommy is standing right behind him. Yeah, the bullet goes where the red dot says, and then it's going to go through that into what's behind it.
That was at least a 44. I mean, you know, because it's law enforcement there at that point in time.
Or a 357 Magnum.
They're using full metal jacket. They're not using hollow tip or anything like that. They're using solid slug, and that would have went through both of them.
Yeah.
It is a nitpicky thing because it's a movie, you know, but sometimes you need those people to say, no, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. So.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, too, she's a dumb teenager, probably didn't know that, but she was raised by a sheriff. You'd think she would know something about guns.
Yeah, I can give Tommy a little bit because, yeah. Still a dumbass for standing right behind the line of fire.
Right.
All right, what's your next con?
Once again, this is a con that repeatedly comes up in the franchise. Outside of Megan, and the only backstory we really know about her, she likes to draw and she's the cop's daughter.
Yeah.
Outside of Tommy Jarvis, and the only reason we know his backstory is because we have previous films.
Yes.
And Jason, every other character is just completely underdeveloped. No character development whatsoever within the teenage cast.
No.
The little kids in the camp that are hiding under the bed. There's two boys hiding under the bed that are having a conversation about how dead meat they are. They were more interesting than some of the people that Jason kills.
So what were you going to be when you grew up?
We're so dead.
Yes, I agree with that too. Yeah.
And it's just something that the Friday the 13th series has been plagued with pretty much throughout the whole series. One of the movies that gets a lot of shit, in my opinion, that it doesn't deserve, even though I found there's a lot more people out there now that love it than say that there is Jason X. It's one of my favorites.
I think it's a fun movie.
It's a great movie. I really love that film. That movie had secondary characters that were interesting.
It actually did.
And that's one of the movies people bitch about all the time.
Yeah.
But yet, even part one, our final girl in part one was boring as hell. And yes, go ahead, guys. I hear you saying it already.
She looks like a boy.
Defend her. Go ahead and defend her.
She still looks like a little boy.
And she was boring.
Yes.
But we've had so many boring characters throughout this franchise. Part 2, we got a good final girl. Everybody else was throwaway.
Yeah.
Part 4, we got some good back characters in that one. Part 4 was good. 5, they did at least a little bit of character development. No matter what people think of the movie, they did develop the characters a little bit. Part 6, aside from our final girl and our Tommy Jarvis character, no development there either. But I think in this film, it was done intentionally. I think the director just wanted people for Jason to kill.
Yeah.
I don't think he cared. They were like, let's have fun with this. Let's just do some kills. Let's see how far we can go. Let's just do that.
Oh, yeah.
And it worked for this film.
Yeah.
So, let's hit off the pros, brother. What you got?
All right. My first pro is the tributes to 2 different films franchises. Well, one's a franchise, one is an old monster movie. The first tribute...
Well, technically, that's got a franchise behind it, too.
Yeah, how many sequels has there been? Or have they just
remakes? And there's been a few.
I thought it's just been all remakes.
Especially if you go with the old Hammer films and stuff like that.
Oh.
You got, because you got The Bride, you got all,
Oh, yeah, The Bride.
They had all those different films, so.
Yeah. But yeah, the James Bond sequence. I loved that.
During the opening credits.
Yeah, that was so fucking awesome.
That is awesome. And I'm a huge James Bond fan. In fact, when I first started this channel, my first idea was to rank all 25 James Bond films.
That would take a while.
Yep, it would. So
I'm going to just have a spoiler alert here and say, number 1, James Bond, GoldenEye.
Not in my opinion.
I still like GoldenEye.
GoldenEye's awesome, and it's in my top 10, but, well, I don't want to give it... Well, the word gold is in the title for my number 1.
Oh, I already know which one.
At least right now. It can change. You never know.
It could.
I'm really enjoying the Daniel Craig films.
They're still putting out more films.
Yep, they still are, and they're not going to stop anytime soon. So.
No.
But the other part, the thing that we were alluding to was
Frankenstein.
The salute to Frankenstein.
Yeah.
You know, the salute, and Tom McLaughlin said he kind of wanted this film to feel like an old classic monster movie.
He even said that if you put this film in black and white, it would still look good.
Yeah, and it would. And I really liked the way they brought Jason back to life. Really was reminiscent of Frankenstein.
Yep.
And it is an awesome tribute.
It's alive.
My first pro is, I'm actually going to do two of my pros in one. The portrayal of Jason. The acting of C.J. Graham was awesome.
Yes.
The acting of Tom Matthews was awesome as Tommy Jarvis. But C.J. Graham really took Jason to a new level here, in my opinion. He is one of the best Jasons. I love C.J. Graham. Some people like him, some people don't. I love C.J. Graham. Personal opinion, and probably not a popular one, better than Kane Hodder.
Ooh.
Sorry, Kane Hodder's overrated. No offense,
wouldn't
Kane.
have
I
gone
like
that
you,
far.
but Kane Hodder's overrated in my opinion.
I wouldn't have gone that far.
All Kane knows how to do is this. That's all he does. Every single Jason movie. 10. In part 10, he gave Jason a little bit more than that. Finally. But all the way up till then, all he did was
It did
throughout
make
the
him
whole
more menacing.
film. I was like, really? Come on, man. Give me something here. Well, we'll get into that too during our franchise ranking because we're going to talk about our favorite Jasons, and mine's probably going to surprise a lot of people, even though I believe I mentioned it in the Jason Voorhees tag already.
All right. My second pro is, of course, the music. It's great. Like he already touched on, Alice Cooper is in here. But we also have Tom Kelly and Kane Roberts also on there.
Another huge pro for me was just the absolute brutality in the film.
Oh.
Jason, like we talked about, he used his hands a lot.
A lot.
And it just made for some brutal kills, and I absolutely loved it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the guy that he broke in half. It's kind of interesting how they did that, too.
The sheriff's death.
Yes, they dug a hole in the ground. He stood in the hole, and another guy with about his same build was halfway in the hole with just his legs there, so that when they pushed him back, he just had to kind of lie back, but there's his legs back there, and it's another guy.
That's cool.
Oh, inventive way to get it done.
Movie magic, you know what I mean?
Yes.
That was awesome. This whole movie is a pro for me, man. I like this movie.
It's an awesome film.
You know, another big pro I have is that, like we touched on it before, the director, he was respectful to the franchise.
Yes.
But he didn't take it so serious, like, you know, just, we can't make any jokes at all. This is a Jason film.
Yeah.
He wasn't like that. Now, okay. And I'm going to be honest here because I like Halloween 5. And I catch a lot of crap for that for some reason. I don't know why.
I haven't seen that in a while.
I really like Halloween 5. But the director in Halloween 5, he was a foreign director, and he did put a little bit of jokey, a little bit of campiness in there, especially with the cops. Whenever the dumb cops are walking away, he's got like weird sounds and all going on in the music behind him. Dun, 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 you know, that kind of shit. It didn't bother me because they were still being respectful to Myers.
Exactly.
It was the cops. That didn't bother me. I didn't care about that. But that's my point here is he didn't do anything campy or disrespectful to Jason.
No.
He only made certain things, and it worked.
Yeah.
You got a couple of good laughs in there, but it wasn't so over the top where it took away from the film.
Yeah.
Not at all. It was still a brutal, awesome horror movie, and to this day, it's still one of my favorites. It is, and mostly it's because of lack of opportunity right now than anything else. The Jason Lives poster is only one of 2 horror posters I have hanging up in my house right now. And like I said, more than anything, that's because of lack of opportunity.
I'm actually watching one on eBay from a foreign country.
Yeah. I love my Jason Lives poster. I've had that poster since high school. It's laminated. I wanted to protect it. Yes, I know you can put it in a frame. Well, I was broke, and our high school had a free lamination process.
Yeah.
So I got the poster laminated, and it hangs up in my man cave.
Nice.
You know, you guys have seen it if you watch some of my videos. I've featured it quite a few times.
I've seen it there.
You know, I love that poster. I love this movie. How about you, Bill? Any more pros?
No. Like you said, though, this whole movie is one big pro. But I do have a question for you, and I know this question's been brought up before. Do you think Jason would have really killed the children?
There's a lot of schools of thought on that, and honestly, okay, we talk about these characters as being evil. My favorite, no surprise here to anybody that watches my channel, is Michael Myers. Michael Myers is pure and unadulterated evil.
Yes.
The reason he doesn't kill every little kid that he comes across in those movies, like when the kids bump into him, and in the new movie, I don't know if you ever noticed, but they did that exact same scenario as a tribute to the original, and they even put the little sound effect in there when the kid bumps into him that's trick-or-treating. The reason he didn't just mindlessly kill those children wasn't because he was any less evil or he had some pang of conscience. It's because he knew that it would be a bad idea at the time.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to draw attention to himself right then and there. With Jason, all that being said, I truly feel the only reason Jason didn't kill the little girl that was praying was he got distracted. And he got called out of the cabin.
I'm going to have to go a little different there. He had plenty of time. To do it. And then when he went back and crashed through the door, another iconic scene we get to see for the first time. Jason just going right through a door like it's not even there. But no, I think he was using them as bait. Because when he went back into the door and went through the door, he didn't try anything. The screams brought the victim to him.
That there is always been a little bit of psychological stuff with Jason, especially concerning his mother, which is used quite a lot throughout the series.
And he didn't kill Corey Feldman right away.
Maybe he saw himself or something in himself, being that he was a little kid when he was killed.
Yes.
Maybe he saw that in the kids and he's like, you know what, it ain't their issue. My issue isn't with them.
No.
Maybe. I don't know. But Jason is an unstoppable killing machine. Is Jason 99% evil or is he 100% evil? Does he have a little bit of conscience for children? Maybe. I don't know.
Or is he just a mindless retard?
Yeah. And now he's a zombie retard. So.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not supposed to use the word retard. It's offensive.
Not to me.
Well, you are a retard. That's why.
That is why.
Anyways, guys, that's it for our review today.
No, it's not.
Oh, we almost forgot.
Our
favorite kills. Sorry, guys. What's yours, Bill?
All right. I had a hard time deciding, actually.
There's some good ones here.
My favorite was Sissy. When she got killed and Jason just turned her head 360 degrees and popped it right off. But my second, I have two actually this time.
Don't take mine, because I wanted to use the head turnaround kill too, but you take that, so I'm not going to use that one.
Are you doing the cop?
Nope, go ahead.
Okay. My second was the cop that got bent in half. That just sounded so... Ugh.
That one was my runner-up, actually. My favorite's a simple one, but for me it was just absolutely awesome. Nice, clean silver machete. And Jason swipes.
The
three people lose their heads.
The 3-for-1 special.
We got a 3-for-1 special, guys. I absolutely love it. It's so cool.
He also had a 2-for-1 too with the machete.
Yep.
Those two on the motorcycle.
Something else I wanted to bring up, guys. If you like this, which I've had a few comments about it, this is a Bukshot charm and pendant chain. Bukshot is a rap artist that I follow, Bukshot, which if you watch some of my other videos, I've brought him up before. He is a really awesome guy. He's a good buddy. And this is one of his logos. It is the Jason mask with his name across it. And that's why I wear it during these reviews, because it is his symbol, but also Jason, and I promote Buck wherever I go. So yeah, if you're interested, head over to his website, mobstylemusic.com. Check out the Mob Shop. I think you can get this for about $15. I'm not sure exactly if I remember correctly.
It's
But it's not bad, and it's really nicely done.
Yes.
So that is it for our review, guys. Till next time, peace.
Later.